Hello everyone, welcome back. In this session we will implement list command. The primary goal is to enable the functionality for displaying the list of tasks that is existing into the to-do JSON file. So let's look into the task what we are going to build. The first task is to create a function to list all to-do items. This involves writing a Python function that retrieves and formats the to-do items for display. The function will be responsible for gathering all the tasks and preparing them in a readable format for the user. The second task is to read to-do items from the JSON file. Since the to-do items are stored in a JSON file, as established in the previous session, this task involves reading the contents of the JSON file to retrieve the stored tasks. The function created in the first task will need to interact with this JSON file to access the list of to-do items. The third and final task is to update the CLI to include the list command. This involves modifying the CLI setup, likely in the to-do.py file, to recognize and handle the list command. This means defining a new command and click that triggers the function created in the first task, allowing users to view the to-do list via the command line. Overall, this session is about enhancing the CLI with the capability to display the list of tasks, ensuring that users can easily view all the tasks they have added. This functionality is an essential part of the to-do application, as it allows users to keep track of their tasks and manage their to-do list effectively. So let's jump into the Visual Studio Code to implement all these tasks. So guys, we are into the Visual Studio Code. Now let's ask our programming partner about the implementation steps for all these tasks. So let's do it. So I would like to ask with a prompt, help me to implement these tasks. Make sure to create separate file into the command folder. It started analyzing the prompt. Now we got the steps. Let's quickly go through all the steps. In the step 1, it is suggesting to create list.py file inside the commands folder, and then insert this given code. In the step 2, update the to-do.py file. Once it got updated in the step 3, we need to verify the implementation by executing this command. So let's execute the steps one by one. So as per step 1, let's create a file called list.py file. Now let's insert this code to the file. I will explain all these code after implementation. Let's proceed further and perform step 2. In step 2, we will be updating the to-do.py file to incorporate the list command, so that when we execute the list command, it will retrieve this data from the JSON file. Now proceed further, go to to-do.py file. So we are into the to-do.py file. Let's delete all this existing code and insert this new code. Next, let's proceed to the step 3 and execute this command to verify the implementation. And you will notice that it has returned the one item which we have added. That is buy groceries. Let's go back to to-do.json and verify the same. And here we have the same entry. That means we are going good. Now go to the list.py file and understand the code which GitHub Copilot has given us. The provided code defines a command line interface, CLI, command using the click library in Python. The command is named list and is decorated with a click.command, which indicates that it is a command that can be executed from the command line. The purpose of the list command is to list all to-do items. When the command is executed, it first calls the load_todos function to retrieve the list of to-do items. The load_todos function is assumed to return a list of dictionaries, where each dictionary represents a to-do item with at least 2 keys: task, the description of the to-do item, and done, a boolean indicating whether the task is completed. The code then checks if the todos list is empty. If it is empty, it uses click.echo to print the message "no to-do items found" to the command line. If the list is not empty, it iterates over the todos list using a for loop. The enumerate function is used to get both the index, IDX, and the to-do item, to-do, for each iteration, starting the index at 1. Within the loop, the code determines the status of each to-do item by checking the value of the done key. If done is true, the status is set to done, otherwise, it is set to not done. It then prints each to-do item to the command line using click.echo, displaying the index, the task description, and the status in a formatted string. Overall, this code provides a simple and user-friendly way to list and display the status of to-do items from the command line. Now let's proceed further and discuss the changes within the todos.py file. In this file, you will find that everything remains same as previous implementation details except line number 3 and line number 11. At line number 3, we are importing the list command, and at line number 11, we are incorporating the list command into CLI. Apart from these two lines, everything remains as it is. So guys, this is what I want to demonstrate you in this session. In the next session, we will implement the remove command. The primary goal is to enable the functionality for removing tasks from the to-do list. Guys, this course is all about new ways of doing the programming. All this programming style is based on prompt engineering techniques, which we are utilizing into pair programming with GitHub Copilot. If you want to learn about prompt engineering, I have exclusive course in my YouTube channel that you will look into. So guys, on this note, I am stopping over here. See you in the next session.